Hello, welcome to this lesson about the Tempest. I'm Mrs. Burrow and I'm going to be talking you through the next two lessons, and they're designed to introduce Shakespeare's play The Tempest to you and to ensure you're really confident with the plot. You have information in your booklet to follow along with this, so all you need to do is follow this and listen carefully, pause when you're asked and see if you can work through this. Okay, so to begin, you can watch The Tempest in its entirety, and I'd recommend it. It's a really great play, but it's also a little bit confusing, so I wouldn't do it quite yet. I'd do these two lessons first to make sure that you know what's happening in the play, so you can follow it, so that you're not confused and you don't think this is rubbish, I hate it. So once you get to understand what's going on in the play, I'd say definitely watch it. You've got several versions of it on Digital Theatre Plus, and the login and password is on the screen for you. You also could look on BBC iPlayer, and I'm going to get you to watch a little extract from that next lesson. But that's another really lovely version. So if you'd like to, you can watch it. You could even watch it over the summer when you've got nothing to do. So, first thing I'm going to ask you to do today is read through this synopsis. It tells you what the play is about. Okay. And then I want you to follow the link to watch the plot. So pause now and do this. Welcome back. I know that this sounds very complex. The play is detailed, but it really isn't complex at all. It's about a man who got stranded on an island with his daughter. He was betrayed by his brother, and that's why he's on the island. On the island already are a sprite called Ariel, who works for the man and helps him do his magic, and a character called Caliban, who's the son of a witch, and he's a really unpleasant person. So that's all you need to know really about that, apart from the man who forced Prospero onto the island, or cast Prospero out to sea, is now shipwrecked on the island, along with lots of other characters, and they're all scattered all over the island, so they don't know whether they've all survived or not. Okay. So next up, I want you to match the character to the description. Down one side you've got the characters, the other side of the table you've got descriptions of them. Just match them up. Spend 5 minutes doing this. Start with the easiest ones. Think about. So Prospero is a magician who lives on the island, so they have started you off. So there's one. So do that, pause now and do that, and then come back to me. Thank you. Okay, welcome back. How many did you get right? You can check this in the back of your booklet. Okay, they're all there, all colour coded for you. Okay, so we're going to move on. So, Shakespeare's comedy. Shakespeare wrote lots of different genres. He wrote tragedies, he wrote histories, and he wrote comedies. And there are some other plays that don't fit into any of these, really. If you've already studied Macbeth or Romeo and Juliet, then you've studied a tragedy. This is a comedy. And on this slide are the key features of a comedy, okay? It's not necessarily what you'd expect. Not laugh out loud hilarious most of the time, although it can be. So, I want you to read this information, okay? All of these things appear in The Tempest, although some are easier to spot than others. For example, you've got Ariel is a very, very clever servant who helps Prospero do his magic and survive on the island. Ferdinand and Miranda are at the mercy of their fathers, although they're deeply in love. They desperately want to get married, but they have to wait for permission from their fathers. There are family tensions between Prospero and his brother, and there are lots and lots of complex interwoven plot lines. You've got Prospero's betrayal and revenge. You've got Miranda and Ferdinand in love. You've got Stefano and Trinculo and Caliban all providing some comic relief by behaving like fools on the island, drunken fools at that. And then you've also got this plot to murder the king by Sebastian Antonio. So you've got all sorts of things going on there. So what I'd like you to think about is which you think are the most important. Okay, which are the most important of the three? And now I want you to complete the following 3 statements. I'm going to ask you to pause in a second, but before you do that, so the first statement just needs a name added to it. The second statement needs an explanation of how Shakespeare included this struggle of young lovers. Okay? Which characters are important for this, and what is their struggle? And then I think the third statement asks you to choose your own element of comedy, a different one from the 2 above, and then explain how he included that element. So I'd like you to pause now and do that. It should take you but no more than 5 minutes. Welcome back. We're thinking about really the main plot of the Tempest. It's focused on how Prospero was betrayed by his brother, cast out to sea in a ship with his young daughter, some books, some clothes, and some food. Okay, so that's what we're thinking about. So, how do you think Prospero might have been betrayed? How did he get to the island? He was on a sailing trip and got lost. Someone gave him a bad map. He was betrayed by his brother. Or he went on holiday and liked it so much he didn't bother going back to Milan. Which do you think, A, B, or C? Yeah, it's B. He was betrayed by his brother and cast out there because his brother wanted to be the Duke of Milan. So, this leads us on to the themes in the play: betrayal, power, forgiveness, freedom, and nature versus nurture. Keep thinking about these as you study the play. They've cropped up in other texts that we've studied already. Think about the birds, think about blood brothers. So we have thought about these already, so these themes are not new to you. But also, they're themes that are going to recur throughout your GCSE studies. And they're themes that appear in almost all texts that you read. Okay? So it's really good to get a good handle on what these themes are up to. What I'd like you to do next is I'd like you to watch an extract. It's about 10 minutes of the extract, and it's Prospero telling Miranda how she got onto the island. So I'd like you to watch it, and the extract for this is in your book as well, and it's in your booklet, and you've got the Shakespearean down one side, down the left hand side, and then you've got a translation of it down the right hand side in case you're struggling with the Shakespearean language. As you watch and listen, think about the themes that we've been talking about. Was he betrayed? What happened? Are people on that island? What are the people on the island like? So you think about all of those things. But also I'd like you to think about whether Shakespeare wants us to like the characters, feel sorry for them. This is our introduction to Prospero and Miranda arrives on the stage asking Prospero about the storm and whether he caused it. So it's our first introduction to them. We've had this huge storm, shipwreck, and now we're getting the backstory about why that shipwreck has happened. So pause now, come back in 10 minutes. Thank you. Welcome back. I'd like you to summarise the story. And Prospero explain to Miranda how they came to be on the island. Summarise this in 5 sentences. There's some sentence starters here to help you if you need them, but if you don't need them and you're quite confident about it, please don't use them, just do it yourself, okay? This is the very last thing we're going to ask you to do this lesson. You've got 10 minutes to do this in. Well done on all of your hard work. You're doing fantastically. I'm really impressed with everything my class has sent to me so far. So keep thinking about the play, keep thinking about islands, keep thinking about those themes, and keep working as well as you are. And I'll see you next lesson. Thank you. Bye.